So President Obama wants to go from us borrowing about 41 cents on the dollar to close to 50 cents on the dollar. In other words, they want us to accelerate decline. But President Obama recently told us we can't do anything about gas prices. Is that true? No. Yeah, very interesting. He said we can't do anything about reducing the debt or the deficit. Is that true? No. He told us we can't do anything about dealing with Medicare and Medicaid and the $107 trillion in unfunded liabilities. Is that true? No. Mr. President, I think the people of Minnesota have 3 important words for you. Yes, we can. Can we bring down gas prices? Yes, it's not too tough if you try. You legalize American energy production, and number 2, you get rid of cap and trade. Done. Number 2, can we stop inflation in the price of food? Yes, we can. We can have the Federal Reserve stop printing money and financing the debt. We can have them stop buying our T-bills from the United States Treasury. We can stop spending money that we don't have. We can stop debasing our currency like the federal government has 20% in the last 2 years. In other words, we can stop being business as usual in Washington, D.C. It's a new day and time. The President said if we don't raise the debt ceiling, we're going to lose the full faith and credit of the United States. I say if we raise the debt ceiling, we're going to lose the full faith and credit of the United States. An economist this week told me that it's about 10% of what we take in goes to finance the debt service. This really isn't hard if you try. We have been given a platinum opportunity right now with the debt ceiling. Because as you know, the United States Constitution puts the power of the purse in the hands of the House of Representatives. President Obama doesn't get to spend 1 dime. Harry Reid doesn't get to spend 1 dime if the House of Representatives doesn't give it to them. House of Representatives, are you paying attention? Don't give them the opportunity to continue spending the money that we don't have. It seems like I remember some of our liberal politicians saying we could spend our way to prosperity. We're spending our way to the poorhouse. As a matter of fact, President Obama said we can solve our debt crisis by increasing taxes on the rich, the top 2%. Well, Walter Williams, an economist, wrote this in a column recently. He said, let's take President Obama at his word. We could go and confiscate and tax at 100% everything that people making over $200,000 a year are making if they're an individual, or $250,000 if they're a couple. We could take it off. And then we could go ahead and take 100% of the profits of the Fortune 500 companies. And we could confiscate 100% of the assets of every billionaire in the United States of America. If we did that, if we literally killed the golden goose that lays the egg in this country, we would have enough money to get this big pig money-eating machine called the federal government through about mid-August. And then it would run out of money. Then where do we go? Then what do we do? That's your big idea, President Obama. I don't think it's going to work. We take this through to its logical conclusion. That's where liberalism takes us, to the end of prosperity. We're not at the end of the prosperity. We're at the beginning of reclaiming our liberties. But we have to ask ourselves the question, how do we get this done? You've spoken. You spoke loudly. You spoke clearly. You said enough of the out-of-control debt, enough of the government takeover of private industry, enough of the cover of health care. Now it's up to our politicians to listen to you, and have the political courage that you told us last November what you want us to do. No half measures, no quarter measures, no 1/8 measures. We've got a problem today, not 10 years from now, not 26 years from now. You've told us in no uncertain terms, solve the problem